We are here with Scott at the Japan World Heroes Con. Scott, tell me a little bit about yourself and what it's like running this convention.
Well, running conventions is simple as making a sandwich if you're making 4,000 sandwiches at 2 o'clock in the morning for 20 days straight.
Perfect. sounds delightfully simple. Well, how many times have you run Japan World Heroes? Like, how many years?
Gotcha. This is our third Japan World Heroes. We did one in 2017, one in 2019. We don't talk about 2021, and now we're at 2023.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, 2021 just never existed. Got it?
Didn't. Yeah.
Well, all right. So you have been into all of this stuff forever. Like, at what point did you want to run a convention regarding, everything?
Well, running an event, I've been a vendor at events since I was 14. So I did my first comic book convention at 14. My mom dropped me off with boxes of comics and toys.
Aww.
I set up, did the show, called her on a payphone, moved my remainder stuff out to the street, and sat on the street to be picked up at 14. So I've been doing this for quite a while.
Wow. Okay. So it's just like in your lifeblood. It's just, you were just born to do this.
Yes.
Well, I guess... So besides Japan World Heroes, like, there's some other conventions. How do you run all of them and navigate just planning it all? Like, how does that go?
I'm a chess guy, so I've been playing chess since I was a little kid, and I don't sleep. So if you mix the two of being able to plan things sequentially with multiple moves and don't sleep, you can plan 8 to 12 conventions a year and not die.
Without sleeping. Got it. All right. Cool. So I hear that you design toys and you make toys.
Yes.
How is that? And how do you ever integrate it into these shows that you run?
Well, certainly that's always kind of a point of running certain events and then maybe having your own exclusive. And as an artist and designer, I do all the graphics for my sites, I do all the social media images for my sites, I do the logo design for my sites, and then on certain shows I'll even have exclusives, and those exclusives would be something I designed and then manufactured. On top of that, I've been working in the toy industry for almost 20-something years as a professional here in Los Angeles alone. So
that is impressive. Oh my goodness. Like, what have you not done out here? That is... Well,
I was never a featured guest on Sesame Street.
Oh, there you go. That's just the last thing you got to tick off.
I have a lot of check boxes, but I have not been on Sesame Street.
Rad. Okay. Well, I guess throughout the years, what is some of your favorite, just things you've seen? Not even just, it doesn't have to be any huge, celebrity moments, but your favorite just moments, seeing your show being run, like a fan, seeing something for the first time.
I think one of the big things about running conventions is that you put all this effort and work into it, and then the people come up to you and go, Scott, this made my life. I got to meet this person, I got to get photos with that person, I got to have lunch with this guy. Touching those people and making them feel so good about something you created, you're like, oh, okay, it was totally worth not sleeping for 28 weeks. It really worked in the end. And then that's the reason I do some of the big shows, especially I run Power Morphicon. Mm-hmm. That can be a 32 weeks of 20-hour days. But in the end, I've made so many people happy, it's worth the effort.
Thank you.
So from doing Power Morphicon, I had this great large audience that loved Power Rangers, but they were unaware of the origins of Power Rangers. They knew it was a Japanese television show, but they didn't know that there's an entire world of tokusatsu out there. And so that was one of the reasons for me to do Japan World Heroes, was to kind of edge some of that audience of Power Morphicon into the world of Super Sentai, Kamen Rider, Ultraman, Metal Heroes, and say, look, if you love Power Rangers, you're going to love all this other world of tokusatsu. that you don't even know exist yet. But once you do, you're going to thank me later.
Yeah, thank you for that. Like, I feel like it's such a niche kind of a deep cut of like Japanese culture, and like I was a fan of Power Rangers, growing up, but I didn't really know the tokusatsu, like the depth of it, like Kamen Rider and all that stuff. Like I'm just finally really like seeing this, and it's a slice that I'm not familiar with. So.
I grew up, at least in my kid years, in Sacramento, so we could get San Francisco television. So when I moved to Sacramento, I could watch Ultraman, and I could see Super Sentai and all this other stuff. I'm like, what is this? How amazing is this? And then go to San Francisco and get bootleg VHSs of stuff, and finding Japanese markets that rented videotapes. So we would write down the kanji and then go rent it from the supermarket. And they're like, what do you kids want renting videotapes here? And sometimes we'd be like, wow, this is anime before anime was a thing. And sometimes it was a soap opera. Like we had written it down wrong and rented the wrong tape. I'm like, well, we got it all weekend. We're gonna watch the hell out of this. And
Just watch it anyways. Like
yes, just to get that glimpse of Japanese culture, and I get to pay that back by introducing it to so many more people with the show.
that is so cool. Like you got into it before it was so accessible, and it's everywhere now. There's streaming services for all this stuff.
Everything was straight Japanese. There was no subtitles. You would join fan clubs to get a script, and then you would have to read while stuff was going. And no, it was definitely a fight to be exposed to that. And I now made it a lot easier. I have an entire convention for you to come and meet those heroes in person here. Japan World Heroes. You get to meet those heroes here from all over the world.
You're doing amazing stuff. Thank you so much for like helping bring it out and make it accessible, and people who just kind of like me, who never really like dived into that depth, like to just see it and meet these people and appreciate the good energy. So.
No, it's great. I mean, the fan base is really, very, very active into it, and they love coming out here and meeting their heroes, and I'm the only show that brings them out to you. So there you go.
Thank you. You rock, Scott. Thank you again.
No problem.
But yeah, Scott, everybody.
Scott Zillner, Japan World Heroes, Power Morphicon, Robo Toy Fest, Pasadena Comic Con, and many more. You can see us online.
Thank you.